HOA Karen called cops on my wife for ignoring the door. Too bad she's in charge of the entire police. It was a typical Sunday afternoon when my wife and I decided to enjoy a peaceful day at home. We had just finished a late breakfast, and I was in the garage working on a small project. My wife, always a bit of an introvert, was enjoying her books in the living room. But peace, as we both knew, never lasts long in our neighborhood. Out of nowhere, we heard a loud knock on the door. My wife, not one to entertain unsolicited visitors, decided to ignore it. Probably another one of those HOA people, she muttered under her breath. We'd had our fair share of run-ins with the overzealous homeowners association, which seemed to think they could police every aspect of our lives, from lawn maintenance to how we parked our car. A few minutes later, there was a soft knock again, followed by a loud bang. Then, the doorbell rang, persistent and grating. Annoyed, my wife got up to check the door. When she peeked through the peephole, she saw Karen, the self-appointed neighborhood watch leader from the HOA, standing with a smug expression, her arms crossed. Karen was known for her constant complaints about everything from unsightly trash cans to too much noise after 9 p.m. Karen, my wife sighed, rolling her eyes. Without saying a word, she opened the door. Karen immediately started lecturing her about the supposed violation of some obscure HOA rule regarding respecting the neighborhood's quiet hours. Karen had apparently called the cops because my wife had ignored the door and was causing a disturbance. But what Karen didn't know was that my wife wasn't just any regular homeowner. She was a high-ranking police officer in the same department that Karen had called for help. My wife, trying to keep her cool, informed Karen in the most polite but firm way possible that she was, in fact, the chief of police. The color drained from Karen's face as the reality of the situation hit her. Perhaps you should consider contacting the proper authorities next time before making such assumptions, my wife said, closing the door gently. Karen stood frozen on the porch for a moment, her eyes wide with disbelief, before she huffed off in embarrassment. That evening, my wife and I sat down with a glass of wine and laughed at how the HOA's self-appointed enforcers had met their match. Little did they know, the person they had tried to lecture was the one in charge of the whole department.